Flood opened up about her failed romance with Tom Schwartz during Season 3 of Winter House, and how the situation turned sour over his reluctance to pursue something after his divorce from Katie Maloney, especially with another Bravo star named Katie. "It's funny, I really don't know the point where it changed," the Below Deck star shared with Us Weekly. "One thing that really stuck out to me, he was very honest about where he was at, what he had done. He spoke about his marriage. He spoke about things that maybe weren't the best things that happened in his marriage. So he was really open from the get-go, and he also never threw Katie under the bus to me." She said Schwartz's honesty was really attractive to her. Flood explained that at the beginning of their flirtation, she didn't mind his reluctance and understood it was a tricky position for the Vanderpump Rules OG star to be in. "We were all very aware of what he was going through," she shared. "There was a lot going on in every single area of his life, so I was trying to really hold space for that and be mindful to him and have courtesy towards that." However, Flood admitted that with time, Schwartz's issues getting over her name got to her. "It definitely gets to a breaking point, and it just sucked a little bit. I do have feelings, and it was getting a bit exhausting to keep going through this circle, and I felt a bit disrespected." Even though their romance never really took off, the former Below Deck Chief Stu revealed that the two are in a good place now. "I think a lot of people think it's this big thing," she told the publication. "Vibes are good. We've hung out a few times. We chat randomly. There's no bad blood, nothing there. We had a fun moment and had a fun experience." Follow the Heavy on Bravo TV Facebook page for the latest breaking news, rumors and content. Malia White said she thought Tom Schwartz was still in love with his ex-wife on Winter House, while Flood said she didn't think Schwartz was still in love with his ex-wife Maloney. Her best friend and co-star Malia White disagreed. "I do think he is still in love with his ex-wife," White told Us Weekly. However, Flood said his hesitancy to pursue something with her wasn't because he was still in love with Maloney but because he knew he'd already put her through a lot in the past and wanted to respect her given that they were being filmed for Bravo. "They'd obviously filmed Vanderpump Rules a couple of months prior and we obviously saw what happened last season," Flood explained. "So I think that was in his head. He was trying not to disrespect his ex-wife, or do something to her." Although Schwartz was worried about Maloney's reaction, he told E! News that his ex-wife ended up being very supportive. The 10th season of Vanderpump Rules was difficult for the exes, but he said they've now gotten to a place of love and support for each other. Tom Schwartz shared during Season 3 of Winter House that Katie Flood's name was preventing him from pursuing her more. A few episodes into Winter House, Season 3, viewers saw Flood open up to her friends about her growing crush on Schwartz. After a night out, the two eventually began making out in the back of the car. However, once they got back to the house, Schwartz expressed concerns about the optics of the situation. They finished the night cuddling, but Schwartz woke up second-guessing his decisions. As some of the cast joked about renaming Flood, Schwartz also found out that both Flood and Maloney share the same middle name, Marie. Later, he confessed to Kyle Cook that if Flood had another name it would be a different situation. The episode ended as Flood walked away from Schwartz during a night out because of his reactions to her name. However, the preview for the following week's episode showed that things might still progress between the two as they headed into the bathroom together and the door closed as Flood threw her bra out of the room. Read next. Andy Cohen calls Nightmare, Real Housewife a disaster.